You are welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Thank you. I welcome you to this very segment of our broadcast. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Please share the broadcast. Share this broadcast. Share the broadcast. Thank you so much. Share the broadcast. Welcome, welcome. Permit me to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to you, depending on your time zone. I am Pastor Maxwell Nnawuihe. Thank you so much. Thank you. You are welcome. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. All right. We are all aware that today is the commencement of the what I described as the last lap and the last cycle of the legal proceedings of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Nigerian courts. Today marks a turning point and a beginning of the journey of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to his inescapable and unstoppable and undeniable victory. Today is a date that has gone down in history. Today is the date that has gone down in history that indeed injustice can never stand. That indeed falsehood can never stand the test of time. That indeed tenacity and fearlessness and bravery demanding for what is rightfully just and yours and for your people is the way to go. In the face of any tyranny, in the face of any dictatorship, defiance and refusal to capitulate, to allow the status quo to be maintained, to allow the propaganda and the subversion of the constitution, that it must be put to stop. This is a day that has gone into the annals of history. In the judicial proceedings, in the legal practices of some lawyers or sons of Nigeria, this very case of Nnamdi Kanu is exceptional and outstanding and has in-depth understanding and foresight and insight of what judiciary should be and what legal practice should be, what democracy should be, what respect for human rights should be, what regard and respect for the rule of law should be. Share the broadcast. I am Pastor Maxwell Nnawuihe. Permit me to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to you, depending on your time zone. Justice James Kolawole Omotosho has commenced the trial, or should I say the retrial, of the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Nigeria. It might interest you to know that this case started all the way from October 2015. 2015. We are now in 2025. That was almost 10 years. That was almost 10 years. These charges that they have preferred against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or preferred on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has been amended several times, more than 15 to 17 times. They have changed their position. They have changed their charges from time to time, from one court to another. But Nnamdi Kanu has not changed his conviction. Nnamdi Kanu has not changed his belief. Nnamdi Kanu has never, ever changed his confession. He has never changed his focus and vision to ensure that Biafra is restored, and the Biafrans and the Igbos and those who are marginalized in this contraption called Nigeria will have a better future. We have respect and dignity to exist or to live as a human being in this part of the world. He has never changed his pursuit. He has never lost focus. He has not been distracted. He has maintained his purity in terms of forthrightness, in terms of genuineness and integrity and forthrightness. He has maintained what he has ever confessed and broadcasted through the Radio Biafra platforms, IPOB platforms, and other mediums of communication over the years. He has maintained his position. He has remained who he has been. He has not changed. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release update. That is the focus of this broadcast. That is the focus of this broadcast. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release update. That is the focus. As I said a few minutes ago, this very date has entered into the annals of history as a day that, standing for what is right, has paved way for a renewed hope for those who feel that they cannot challenge tyranny, that they cannot challenge unconstitutionality and illegality, that they cannot be able to challenge the abuse of the fundamental human rights, that they are handicapped in the face of aggression, in the face of calculated aggression, whether it is state-sponsored terrorism, with their allies in different countries of the world, more especially Britain. Today has really, really gone into the annals of history, that standing always consistently in dedication without prevarication for what is right, demanding for justice and equity to be done, is the way to go. Is the way to go. Share the broadcast. Please help and share the broadcast. The first thing to do is to like the broadcast. That is the first thing to do. Like the broadcast. Like it so that it will be recommended widely. You can also have your say via the chat section. You can have your say via the chat section. I am bringing updates to you. Very important updates. Very important updates. Thank you very much. I'm going to bring to you, without wasting much time, other interesting updates. I'm going to bring to you interesting updates. Now I am bringing to the screen uh, one of the important updates of what happened in the court, today. This is it. One of the updates of what transpired in court. Although what really happened today was the hearing of the case and, of course, the taking of the plea of Nnamdi Kanu, and he pleaded not guilty. He pleaded not guilty. So the trial will commence in earnest. The trial will commence in earnest from the 29th of April, 2nd of May, and 6th of May. These are 3 adjourned dates. 29th of April, 2025, 2nd of May, and 6th of May, 2025. These dates marks the commencement of the retrial of Nnamdi Kanu. Please, I recommend that you watch the recent broadcast I made, on the 15th of March. That recent broadcast is very, very important. You cannot afford to miss listening to it. You cannot afford to miss the information that I released in that broadcast. You cannot really afford to miss the prophecy I gave in that broadcast. You cannot afford to miss the prophetic and spiritual perspective I brought into that very broadcast that will help both the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu and every other person that has 1 or 2 roles to play at the forefront to ensure the release of Nnamdi Kanu. They are going to make good use of the prophecy, the perspective I brought or that I gave in that broadcast. The title of the broadcast is Nnamdi Kanu's New Judge. Nnamdi Kanu's New Judge. The shocking truth about what comes next. That is the broadcast. It was made on this platform on the 15th of March. 15th of March, 2025. You have to watch that broadcast. Share it widely. Make sure that people in leadership positions of IPOB, that they watch that video, that they watch that very video. Make sure that the members of the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu, they watch that video. I mentioned 3 striking things and approaches and methods that the new trial judge of Nnamdi Kanu is going to use in this case. This is the first outing of this last cycle of the retrial of Nnamdi Kanu. You need to understand, it is not yet uhuru. It is not yet over. The impression that was made in the court today, by the new trial judge, this is the first leg. This is the first outing. Let nobody relax. The legal team of Nnamdi Kanu should not relax and fold their hands. Make sure that you share the broadcast I made on the 15th of March. Share it to people who are in the leadership position of IPOB. Those that visit Nnamdi Kanu at the dungeon. His members of legal team, make sure that they watch that video, that they watch the broadcast, so that they will prepare ahead of time. One of the things I said that the new trial judge was going to use is psychology. I mentioned it in that broadcast on the 15th of March. He is going to employ the tactics and the approach and the method of psychology on Nnamdi Kanu. I am anything I tell you in prophecy, Anything I tell you in prophecy, you don't have to doubt it. You don't, anything I open my mouth and tell you in prophecy, you have no reason whatsoever to doubt it. If you have been following me for the past 5 years, if you have been following me for the past 4 years or 3 years or 2 years or 1 year, if you have been my fan, my ardent listeners and followers, by now you will understand. When I give prophecy, when I tell you, look at what is going to happen, and there are instructions attached to those prophecies, you have to listen carefully. You have to follow strictly to it or with it to ensure you comply with the instructions provided in the prophecy to the letter. Don't ever doubt it. This is one of the reasons Nnamdi Kanu is still facing trial in Nigeria, because many prophecies I have given over the years. Many prophecies I have given over the years. Those in positions of leadership of IPOB refused to act according to the prophecies, to act according to the instructions and directions that I gave by the inspiration of the Spirit of God to them. The prophecies I gave in 2020, they played hanky-panky with it. The prophecies I gave on the 23rd of August, in the month of July, in the month of May, in 2020, all those prophecies have come to pass without missing any manifestation in terms of accuracy. The track records are there. 2021 the same, 2022 the same, 2023 the same. Remember, it's not long I concluded my 7 days dry fasting for the case of Nnamdi Kanu. As I've said, I made a broadcast here on the 2nd of March. The last day of the 7 days of the dry fasting, I made a broadcast live. It is here on this channel. The case of Nnamdi Kanu was on the altar of prayer for 7 days. No water, no food, no fruit. And God spoke to me. And I have made an announcement here. I am going to release other prophecies in the month of April. There are comprehensive prophecies that God gave to me in the course of the 7 days dry fasting and prayer for Biafrans worldwide. I will give you the date. I'm going to release all those prophecies that came from the 7 days dry fasting and prayer. I prayed on the 2nd of March. I made a broadcast as well on the 10th of March. And I made a broadcast on the 15th of March. These 3 broadcasts are very important because they give you perspective into what is going to happen in this last phase of the trial or the retrial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Nigeria. Very, very important that you make use of those broadcasts. Very, very critical and important. If you are just joining us, I am Pst Maxwell Nnawuihe. Please share this broadcast widely, like widely, comment. Make sure your comment is encouraging and inspiring people and bringing up a very good objective opinion and perspective into what we are doing. Please, it's important. Make use of the detail in the description below. Make use of the detail. There are other interesting videos on this channel, different teachings and prophecies on this channel. The description below this broadcast, you will find links and you will find some relevant materials. Now, I am bringing back to you the screen I brought before. I am bringing it back to you. I am bringing it back to you ASAP. We are not here to joke. We are not here to joke. The 7 days dry fasting was not the fasting and prayer I have held or I have observed for Nnamdi Kanu. The list is endless. The list is endless. We have been fasting, praying, fasting, praying. And that's why you see some of the things that happen that no other person would have been able to secure it if not God. Not even the legal team, whether the past or the present. The case of Nnamdi Kanu is more of spiritual. It is more of spiritual. When you say political, under what circumstance or undertone? It is not exclusively political. It is spiritual, but it has political aspect of it or dimension or phase of it. The root is spiritual. The moment you lose the case of Nnamdi Kanu spiritually, you have lost it legally, you have lost it constitutionally, you have lost it politically, you have lost it in its entirety. You have lost it. You cannot afford to lose this case spiritually. Now, take a listen.
Happening. What is happening? I will do it. I will do it. Don't try to speak. Don't try to speak. What is it now?
Please, if you can hear that very clearly,
allow them to show themselves.
Let me know via the chat section. I want to confirm that you can hear it. If you can hear it, you will do well to let me know. Please accept. If you can hear the clip, help and notify that you can hear. Please help. Thank you for joining us. From my own end, I can hear it. From your own end, I hope you can hear it.
How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
You have finally gotten a new judge to handle your case. How do you feel about that?
Great, I suppose. Yes.
So what are your expectations from today's proceedings?
Is that justice will be done, of course, in accordance with the rule of law. That's what I'm expecting.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
That's my daughter. Take advantage of my daughter.
Yes, he said that we want justice to be done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
That's my daughter.
Listen again. So I think the senior advocate of Nigeria, Kanu Agabi, is now, I am not in position to say categorically, but from what I can see and the information so far, is like he is now the new leader of the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu. Kanu Agabi.
How are you?
Thank you. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
You have finally gotten a new judge to handle your case. How do you feel about that?
Great, I suppose. Yes.
So what are your expectations from today's proceedings?
Is that justice will be done, of course, in accordance with the rule of law. That's what I'm expecting.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
That's my daughter. Take advantage of my daughter.
Now, that is the court in session.
This is for one for my brain this morning.
expected.
Hello. Hello.
All right, you have seen that he spoke on justice when he was asked, "What are you expecting in this court?" This is the first outing of the retrial of Nnamdi Kanu with Justice James Kolawole Omotosho. Nnamdi Kanu said that what he is expecting and hoping to have is that justice is done. Is that justice is done. That is what every one of us are expecting. That is what every one of us are expecting in this last phase of the trial of Nnamdi Kanu. Again, I want to remind you, the broadcast I made on the 15th, don't miss that broadcast. The broadcast I made on the 15th is on this channel. Don't miss it. It's about 39 minutes or so. It's not too long. Watch it from the beginning to the end. Watch it from the beginning to the end. The shocking truth about what comes next. Nnamdi Kanu's new judge. The shocking truth about what comes next. I mentioned what the justice is going to use in this very case of Nnamdi Kanu. I mentioned two striking things prophetically: psychology and confrontation. Go and watch that broadcast after this live broadcast. Don't miss it. And make sure you share it to the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu that they may start preparing ahead of time. That they may start preparing ahead of time. Let them not relax. Now that possibly Chief Kanu Agabi has taken over the leadership of the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu, they should not go and fold their hands and say, now we have a son. They should not go and fold. Of course, they have Uche Chuku. Is it Machuku Ume? Yes, Machuku Ume, the senior advocate of Nigeria, Machuku Ume, as the advisor of the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu. We know that there is a son already working with them. But now, leading the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu, another son has taken over. Kanu Agabi. Kanu Agabi, from the information gathered today, he is now the new leader of the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu. We don't know whether that will be confirmed or is going to be disputed. I don't know for now. But that is the information we have at hand. This is not about son. This is not about 30,000 lawyers going to court in solidarity with Nnamdi Kanu or in defense of Nnamdi Kanu. That is not the matter. The matter is understanding what card that the government is playing and how to confuse and make it very difficult for them to win the game. That is what legal representation is all about. And you cannot do without the prophetic or the spiritual perspective of this case of Nnamdi Kanu. I am bringing the next update to you quickly. I am bringing the next update to you ASAP. I am bringing it to you without further delay. Now, Channels Television, let's see what they have here. Let us see what Channels Television has right here. Thank you for joining. I am Pst Maxwell Nnawuihe. Please like the broadcast. Don't be tired of doing the right thing. Share the broadcast. Do not give up doing the right thing. I have not given up for the past 9 years. From 2015, I organized 18 months fasting and prayer for Nnamdi Kanu in October 2015. Until today, I am still here. It's about 9 years. Almost 10 years. Almost 10 years. We have the track record of goodness. We have the track record, impeccable record of truthfulness, consistency, commitment, forthrightness to make sure that justice is seen to have been done in the case of Nnamdi Kanu. Now, this is Channels. We're going to see what they wrote here resulting from the proceeding of the case of Nnamdi Kanu today, and we go to other important and interesting updates. Alleged treason, Nnamdi Kanu back in court as new judge presides over case. New judge presides over case. Nnamdi Kanu back in court as new judge presides over case. Justice James Omotosho. Remember, the broadcast I made here on the 15th, I also gave important details about this judge. I gave important details, very, very useful details about Justice James Omotosho, so that our people will be prepared, so that the legal team may be prepared, and every other person that are working with Nnamdi Kanu to secure his release may be able to anticipate and be able to preempt the line of actions and approach and methodology of Justice James Kolawole Omotosho in the case of Nnamdi Kanu. It is very, very important, very, very critical. Channel should stop tagging IPOB proscribed. Channel and other media outlets of Nigeria, they should desist from attaching or using the word proscribed when it comes to addressing IPOB. Because courts of competent jurisdictions have condemned the processes that led to the proscription of IPOB. I will not use that word, I will not pronounce it because it is not correct. I will not pronounce it. Now, there is also a change of defense counsel. There is also a change of defense counsel. Kanu Agabi San now heads the defense team for Nnamdi Kanu. Kanu Agabi, as I said minutes ago, while the prosecution retained Ade Boyega, Omowolo San, Owomolo San. Shortly after appearances, counsel to Nnamdi Kanu Chief Agabi pleaded to address the court. He started by apologizing on behalf of his client, stating that they are now at a place where they must apologize to Justice Binta Nyako, the prosecution team, and his lawyers. I hope you are hearing. I hope you are listening. I hope you are taking note. I hope you are taking note that the new leader of the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu is now Chief Kanu Agabi San. And in the court, he started by apologizing. He started by apologizing on behalf of Nnamdi Kanu. It is not Nnamdi Kanu apologizing. He is not the one that apologized. It is his lead counsel, Chief Kanu Agabi, that apologized. So you have to allow that to sink in, because some news outlets have started giving out or making publications with a headline that Nnamdi Kanu apologized to the court or apologized to Justice Binta Nyako. I saw one of them and I said, this cannot be correct. I saw one of them and I said, no. This is quoted out of context. This is quoted out of context, or in order to make sales, or in order to attract or drive traffic to their platforms or their websites or their pages. It is Chief Kanu Agabi that apologized. What did he apologize for? We are going to see if we have the details on this very page, stating that they are now at a place where they must apologize to Justice Binta Nyako, the prosecution team, and his lawyers. Apologizing to her for what? Will she also apologize for not following the provisions of the Constitution? Will she also apologize for not allowing the rule of law to have its course and enforcing and making necessary orders for the detaining authority to comply with all the orders that she has given in her court in the favor of Nnamdi Kanu? If the senior advocate of Nigeria, the new leader of the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu, Chief Kanu Agabi, stood to apologize to Justice Binta Nyako in this very first outing in the court of Justice James Kolawole Omotosho, will Justice Binta Nyako also apologize for not using her expertise, her experience as a judge, for not using the instrumentality of the Constitution of Nigeria to ensure the unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu, at least giving the order in her court, let alone that the government did not comply with the order? Will she also apologize for condoning the aberrations, for condoning the unconstitutional and illegalities that the detaining authority and other authorities of the government or agents of the government carried out in the process of both the extraordinary rendition of Nnamdi Kanu down to denial of all his fundamental human rights in the process? Will she also apologize? That is the question. Need to apologize as well. Now, we continue with this article from Channels Television. He added that Kanu was angry, been for a very long time. He said the attack on Justice Binta Nyako was unjustified. What attack is that? Did Nnamdi Kanu attack her? The answer is no. I don't understand what Chief Kanu Agabi, if actually that the press quoted him correctly. I should not be in a hurry to draw conclusion, because sometimes the Nigerian newspaper or media outlets and platforms have a way of twisting the truth or the fact, distorting it to suit whatever their intentions are. Quoting someone out of context is one of their stock in trade. So, but if this is the truth, that this statement is really credited to Chief Kanu Agabi, I do not really understand why that should be coming from him on this first outing, because this is not a legal process of appeasement or trying to make the judge happy. This is not what it is. You should not be so weak and lenient in this type of very highly interesting, high-profile case of global interest of Nnamdi Kanu. You don't have to be too lenient or too easy to play by sentiment or try to appease the judge or the prosecutor. He said that Nnamdi Kanu has been angry. That is the truth. For a very long time, he said that the attack on Justice Binta Nyako was unjustified. He apologized to his team, whom he attacked verbally. He apologized to his team, whom he attacked. He did not attack anybody. Channels Television should correct themselves. Channels Television has made so much money already. They have crowd, they have followers and listeners. If they write the truth and state the facts, they will not lose their millions of followers and supporters and fans. They should be more professional in what they are writing. Verbal attack. Nnamdi Kanu did not attack his legal team. The apologies were also rendered to the prosecution team led by Womolo and the chairman of the body of benchers, who they hold in high regard. All of this garbage is of no interest to us. Agabi added that Kanu was a good man and everyone can't be of like minds. Agabi pleaded that room should be made for errors and they must strive to save and not destroy. While accepting the apology, the prosecution added that they would do their best to ensure an expeditious hearing of the case. Awomolo says he appreciates the feeling of Kanu and the heat the matter generates. It is not to try to play to the gallery. We want to see the practical reality coming from the both parties, whether the prosecution or the judge. That is what we want to hear. All of these rhetorics, all of these trivial expressions are not of good substance in what we are looking up to, in what we are expecting in this case. Justice Omotosho says the length of the trial may have taken a toll on Nnamdi Kanu. He said when he was arraigned in 2015, he was 47 years of age. Now he is 57 years of age. So it's 10 years. This also helps you to understand that the first arrest and incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu was in October 2015. And I was the first person to organize a public prayer for him, fasting and prayers every Saturday for 18 good months until he was released from Kuje prison. So what I am doing now, what you see me do now, this broadcast and other things I've been doing in support of Nnamdi Kanu, praying for Nnamdi Kanu, standing in the gap for Nnamdi Kanu and the Biafran people, I have been doing this all the way from 2015 October. All the way from 2015 October. As long as the case of Nnamdi Kanu remains not really settled and the outcome not really what we all anticipate and expect, we will continue. And still does not know where he is headed. That is the statement that came from Justice Omotosho. He says that the length of the trial may have taken a toll on Nnamdi Kanu. He said when he was arraigned in 2015, he was 47 years of age. Now he is 57 years of age. And as I said in the broadcast I made on the 15th of this month, this judge is 58 years old. Justice James Omotosho is 58 years of age. He was born on the 21st of July, 1966. Please make sure you watch that broadcast. Make sure you watch that broadcast. I'm going to bring it to the screen, that very broadcast. I'm going to bring it to the screen, and then I'm going to take it out. After this broadcast, do well to go and watch it. That is all from Channels Television. Channels Television focused on apology, apology, apology. Very, very pathetic. Very, very pathetic that Channel decided to focus on apology and not apology. We then apologize to Nnamdi Kanu. We in Nigeria apologize. Justice Benson Anya has given a judgment on the 20th of January 2022 that the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the federal government, should tender unreserved apology to Nnamdi Kanu, that it must be published on major national dailies, and that they should give him 1 billion naira compensation for the abuse of his fundamental human rights and every other thing that Justice Benson Anya listed or mentioned in that very landmark judgment. That was during the tenure or the administration of the former president, Muhammadu Buhari. Did they apologize until now? Did they apologize to Nnamdi Kanu until now? Did they? It is a court judgment, a court of competent jurisdiction delivered that very judgment. They refuse to comply with that judgment. They have not apologized to Nnamdi Kanu, and they are still holding him in solitary confinement. He is still wearing the same Fendi outfit for almost 4 years, almost 4 consecutive years. And you are talking about apologizing to Justice Binta Nyako. And somebody is talking about apologizing to Justice Binta Nyako. I can't wrap my mind around it. I cannot. It is very, very difficult for me to do. it is very difficult for me to do. Very difficult. Now, I'm going to bring another update. Let's see what they have here. If it's going to be of any very good use to us. If you are just joining us, thank you. I am Pst Maxwell Nnawuihe. Now I am bringing another update to you. I am bringing another update to you. Let's see. Let us see. Who is a gentleman? I want to understand. Is he commending? They should not be in a hurry. These are not the things that we are interested in hearing. We are interested in hearing is that this retrial, the hearing has taken place today. Nnamdi Kanu has taken a plea. He has pleaded not guilty. The next adjourned date, 29th of April, 2nd of May, and the 6th of May. What we want to hear is that Nnamdi Kanu has been discharged and acquitted the second time. The second time. The second time. That is what we want to hear. That he has been discharged and acquitted the second time.
The next stage, and let the prosecution present their witnesses. The apology that was issued in the court, a copies of it, and a value. But at the end of the day, what's important is our client has respect, utmost respect for the court, for the prosecution, for his team. He's a good man. He's a gentleman. That is what he has demonstrated to be. Thank you.
Please don't have your phone on camera.
And my name is Lieutenant. Thank you, sir. We are ready. We'll come to the next stage and let the prosecution
Please.
present their witnesses. The apology.
I hope you can still hear me. I hope you can still hear me.
But at the end of the day, what's important is our client has respect, utmost respect.
I hope
for the court,
you can
for
still
the
hear
prosecution,
me.
for his team. He's a good man. He's a gentleman. That is what he has demonstrated.
Can you hear the clip?
Thank you.
Please don't have your phone on camera.
And my name
That is a
Lieutenant.
member of the legal team of
Thank you, sir.
Nnamdi Kanu, acknowledging and also praising the prosecution.
We are ready. We'll come to the next.
One of the members of the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu, I didn't quite get his name. He was saying that the prosecution is a good man. This is not time of singing praises. This is not time of singing praises. This is not time of singing praises. The only time you will sing praises is when there is a landmark judgment from the court of Justice James Omotosho in the favor of Nnamdi Kanu. And what that landmark judgment that we're expecting is that he has declared and ruled and held that Nnamdi Kanu is discharged and acquitted. That is what we want to hear. Not all of these rhetorics and all these praise singing. And all this praise singing. Listen again. Somebody should please tell the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu, this is not time to start singing praises. Because the same mouth you are using to sing praises now, when something or there is a new twist, there is a new twist, are you still going to come out to sing their praises? So,
And let the prosecution present their witnesses. The apology that was issued in the court, I have copies of it, and I value. But at the end of the day, what's important is our client has respect, utmost respect for the court, for the prosecution, for his team. He's a good man. He's a gentleman. That is what he has demonstrated to me. Thank you.
Please don't have your phone on camera.
And my name is Lieutenant. Thank you, sir.
Did you hear what he said? That the prosecution and his team is a gentleman. How I don't understand why this member of the legal team, I didn't quite get his name, is in a hurry to start singing the praises of the prosecution. The prosecution that have not complied with the provisions of the Constitution in the proceedings of Nnamdi Kanu over the years is the one you are praising and saying that he's a gentleman, he's a good man. That has sat on different court orders and refused to comply and refused to work with in alignment with the orders of Justice Binta Nyako is the person you are praising before the media, singing his praises. I don't understand it. I don't understand it from this particular member of the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu. I think he said that his name is Uchechukwu. I'm not sure if I got that his name correct. They should stop singing praises, whether of the president of Nigeria, of the Justice James Omotosho, or Justice Binta Nyako. What we need is that Nnamdi Kanu is no longer in the DSS dungeon. He has been released on condition, not on bail, not on bail, not on bail. Not on bail. Nigeria has destroyed the case by their illegalities and unconstitutionality. They have destroyed it. The only thing to do, which is long overdue, is to expeditiously make sure that this matter is treated with dispense, expeditiously, to discharge and acquit Nnamdi Kanu the second time in the court of Justice James Omotosho. They should stop this praise singing. It is not the right thing to do. It is not the way to go. I remind you again, after this live broadcast, lay hold on the broadcast I made on the 15th of this month. I gave details. I gave very important, both spiritually, prophetically, very important details regarding this very last phase of the case of Nnamdi Kanu. Go and watch that broadcast after the end of this. Remember, we are following up in prayers. You need to understand it. We are still following up in prayers. And God is going to do what he has promised he is going to do in this case. The Most High God in heaven is going to do it. He will do it. When the dry fasting started on the 24th of February, that was when the 7 days dry fasting started. On the 24th of February, then on the 25th of February, this case was reassigned. When the major spiritual onslaught started on the altars of prayer, divine intervention was received. We are not joking. God is very, very faithful. God is very, very faithful. Nnamdi Kanu will never be disappointed or frustrated in this case. He will win again and again and again. Victory is guaranteed. This you need to know. Victory is guaranteed. This is the last phase. After this time around, there will be no other legal proceedings regarding the case of Nnamdi Kanu in any of the Nigerian courts. Anything I tell you, take it to the bank. Anything I tell you is the gospel. During our 7 days fasting and prayer in the month of September 2021, the Spirit of God took me in a trance. I saw myself at the River Jordan, and it was as if I was escorted by people who are taking tourists to go and see the river and some historical sites, in the land of Israel, as if I went on a pilgrimage. But this was in a trance in the course of our 7 days fasting and prayer in the month of September 2021. And the Spirit of God took me there and showed me where Jesus Christ of Nazareth was baptized by John the Baptist. He showed me, he said, this is where Yeshua, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, was baptized. And then after that, he showed me a lot. And when I came to my consciousness, he began to speak to me that is exactly what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is undergoing. That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is undergoing a supernatural baptism. And after this very baptism, that no man, no woman will touch or arrest him again. Just like when Jesus was right there in the river, when he was being baptized, heaven was silent. Everyone, they were just watching to see the outcome. And you know that this baptism is baptism by immersion. He was dipped right inside the river. And we know in the biblical symbols and connotations, water or river sometimes connotes evil, connotes pain, connotes suffering. The Bible said that when you go through the water, it shall not overflow you. When the enemy rises up like a flood, the Spirit of God is going to rise up a standard against him. All of this connotes disaster, suffering, pains, waters of affliction, and the rest of it. Immersion. So, by the time that Jesus came out of the river, after the baptism, the Bible said that heaven opened and God spoke and said, this is my beloved Son in whom I am well pleased. This is my beloved Son in whom I am well pleased. That was divine introduction, announcement, and endorsement. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is right now going through that baptism, and it is time for him to come out of it for divine introduction, announcement, and endorsement, that he will be invited by. You are going to see what will happen after the release of Nnamdi Kanu. That is why they don't want to let him go. After his release, there will be more global attention. He will be extremely busy. He will be extremely busy at the diplomatic front lines, solidifying and consolidating certain arrangements that will benefit the Biafra referendum and the eventual restoration of Biafra. So this is the final battle. This is the last battle. That is why it is very, very tough. Nobody should be discouraged. Nobody has any reason to be discouraged. No matter the reason, don't be discouraged. I am bringing to you, let me see if there is any other important and interesting update here. Let me see. Of course, the IPOB leadership has made a press release regarding the trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I don't think there's any other further update, and we are bringing this broadcast to an end. Please make sure. Let me bring that very broadcast I made. Let me bring it, the broadcast of 15th of March, so that you will go for it. After this broadcast, go and watch that broadcast. In fact, I am ending this broadcast now so that you will go and watch that particular broadcast. So go and watch it. You will add it to part of the court update. This is it. I'm bringing it to the screen. As soon as this live broadcast comes to an end, go and watch this broadcast I am bringing to the screen now. And there will be other broadcasts coming up today. There will be other broadcast coming up this very day. Before the end of today, you are going to see another broadcast on this platform following up. That will be 20 realities. I will be discussing 20 realities of the case of Nnamdi Kanu very, very shortly. Now, it is on the screen. Look at it. It is on the screen. This particular broadcast, after now, go and watch it, please. It has a lot of details into this new judge and this new phase of the case of Nnamdi Kanu. And I gave scriptures. I gave scripture for prayers. I gave scripture for prayer. The book of Psalms, chapter 7, from verse 9 to 15. Let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end. Let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end. Maybe this judge is now positioning himself to come and make his money, to come and enjoy his own money from the case of Nnamdi Kanu. That will not hold. That will not hold. That will not hold. That will not hold. Please, this is the video. This is it. After this broadcast, go and watch it. Welcome to this very segment, this special episode of our broadcast today. I am Pst Maxwell Nnawuihe. I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to you, depending on your time zone. I welcome you. Thank you, my returning subscribers. Thank you, new subscribers. Welcome to the family. We have more than 300 new subscribers within the space of 1 week. Welcome. I appreciate every one of you. Those of you that respond to the notifications, anytime you receive a notification that I'm live on air or a content is uploaded to this channel, and watch this broadcast. Try to make sure this is it. Served on the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu. And the hearing is slated to hold born on the 25th of September 1967. Just 1 year gap. It is going to be tough. And that is why the spiritual dimension of this matter and the prophetic guideline cannot be underestimated, because this is going to be tough. Please, the first thing to do right now is to like the... So, to understand what is going to happen. And I want to state, lest I forget, I want to put it very, very clearly to you that this is the last legal cycle of the trial of Nnamdi Kanu. This is the last legal cycle. This is the last lap of the cycle. This is the last. This is the last. Take note of it. So this is going to be considered as the final battle that will crown the victory of Nnamdi Kanu. This is the very final battle that will crown the victory of Nnamdi Kanu. Remember, he has been victorious. God has given him victories. Several years that has gone by, God has given him victory. All the way from 2015 to 2017. The Operation Python, that is true, he didn't die. He escaped and he was safe. He was nearly killed in Kenya. So you have taken note. You have taken note of this video. Make sure you go and watch it. And from me, from here, it is goodbye. I will be coming to you with 20 realities of the case of Nnamdi Kanu. I'll be coming to you with 20 realities of the case of Nnamdi Kanu. Watch out today. You are going to be seeing it here on this platform. And from me, from here, it is goodbye.